Huge geek, and I love everything to do with anime, manga, games, card games, board games, cosplay, fan fiction. Definitely a big fan fiction fan. And I just love being at Icon. It's my first time at Icon, and I really enjoy it. Love seeing all the artists and similar people who are just as weird and otaku as me.
What's up guys? So I love being a geek because, you know, creators pour their blood, sweat and tears to make amazing worlds that we people can relate to and love. And, you know, it's such a freedom world that, you know, being a geek, that's so awesome. So this is my first Icon con and it's like really cool. And it's the first time I'm cosplaying as well, so it's like woo! And it's so cool to get all this super cool attention because like people love you and want to take photos of you as your character. And yeah.
Hey, I'm Marsky and I love horror, anything horror, and coming to Icon and seeing that there's fellow people who like horror as well, and I'm with a bunch of friends who also like horror, it just lights up my day. Also to see the artists and similar freaks, it's just awesome.
I'm a geek, like comics, like Flash specifically. D&D is also my jam, any RPG, like to DM, like to GM, like to play.
I've been a geek my whole life, eh? Like, the reason I became a geek, strategy. Loving strategy, love being competitive, and there's nothing better than gathering around a table with friends and destroying them in a good game. Coming to Icon, well, Icon is the original geek gathering. Since Grant and them have started it, there's nothing better. And the community here is the friendliest place you can think of. Molebooth has been amazing with us. And I must say, like, no, really, Icon is what we find as the best place for us all to get together and have some fun and just share ideas and grow together as a community in board gaming. Board gaming is a thing.
The reason I'm a geek is because it's fun. It's fun. People are literally missing out on having fun in life. Playing games, I mean, we're all still children inside, so have fun with it. Yeah, that's why I'm a geek. Why I love being a geek is, if you've got a good imagination, life happens around you. You can have so much fun. You can live in all kinds of weird and wonderful worlds, to put it that way. It's actually awesome. Why I come to Icon is, I mean, it's the big gathering.
Hi, I'm a geek because I enjoy all forms of gaming, and that got me into comics and role-playing and reading fantasy, and I've just enjoyed everything from there on and got really into lore and exploring worlds and that kind of stuff. I come to Icon because it's the best geek convention in South Africa. It's the longest running one. It's got all my favorite games, lots of merchant stalls where I can buy cool stuff. Yeah.
Hi, why am I a geek? I've been a geek since I was a young age. My dad had me playing Dungeons and Dragons since I was about 6, 7, 8 years old. I was always a thief with the grappling hook, always needed a grappling hook. And from there, I kind of started playing Warhammer 40k, and then loved painting up models, loved playing Magic the Gathering. Anything that, you know, kind of really speaks to your inner geekiness, for you to get that adventure out of you, you know, to really just feel something that is completely nerdy and just up to you, and that you enjoy it. And it doesn't care what anyone else has to say about it. The fact that you enjoy it is good enough for me to be a geek. I've been to every Icon since I was about 13 years old, so something about 20 or 21 Icons now. I've been going for quite a while. I've absolutely loved it since I was a little kid all the way to now. I love dice, I love collecting dice. I'm a bit strange like that. Any kind of game I get to play, I really enjoy with my friends. Yeah.
Why am I a geek? I guess it's because I started really young. I was just fascinated by all things fantasy. My brothers played competitive video games, and so I always had a decent computer. And it's always been a community that has openly and enthusiastically accepted me, and that's what I love about it. Second question.
Why do you love being a geek?
Why do I love being a geek? Because it's fun, first of all. We get to play awesome games, we get to do silly stuff, unabashedly and completely enthusiastically, without any shame. We're happy to dress up whenever we feel like it. The community, like I said in the previous question, is one that is just unconditionally accepting of everybody, and it's a community you can find wherever you go. And the third question.
Why are you at Icon?
Why am I at Icon? Well, it's the hub of the community. I was very uncomfortable at Icons at first, just because I didn't know anyone here, and I wandered around aimlessly, and I didn't know what I was doing. But as soon as I figured out how to start entering different events and games, and I started to get to know a bunch of the people here, it feels like returning home every year to family, where you greet somebody every 5 minutes that you run into. You see all the familiar faces, from the people you saw last weekend hanging out to the people you only see once a year at Icon, but who greet you just as warmly as everyone else. And it's a great place to come and just relish in all things geeky.
Cool. What made me a geek? My dad is a geek, so he is a tabletop gamer, and he grew me up watching Star Trek and Star Wars from the age of 3. From there, just took over, and I got into comics. They bought me comics. They're from England, so they had, knowledge of comics when I was growing up. So I had comics, and from there just rolled Spider-Man, Wolverine, X-Men, Dota, anime, Magic. So I'm just consider myself a geek. And then, so it was, why am I a geek? What do I enjoy about being?
What do you enjoy about being a geek?
Okay, what I enjoy about being a geek? I like the community. The community is really awesome. It's a community where immediately people just accept you for however you want to be. You can be dressed up as a dragon. They're cool. So everyone's friendly, everyone's accepting, very helpful. So it's a very welcoming community. So that's why I continue being a geek.
Why are you at Icon?
So at Icon, to immerse myself in the community. I'm also here to play Magic the Gathering tournaments. Currently doing quite well. So Magic the Gathering, I've been playing for about 3 years, and I'm hoping to win this one. So that's the main reason why I'm here. But otherwise, I've just come just because it's a geek fest. So.
Well, I come to Icon because it's a gathering of all of the things that I love, geekiness, and you can just dabble and go as deep in any place, and it's only really the only thing that you can really do in Joburg each year to do it, because even Geek Fest isn't really the hardcore geek. So yeah, how did I become a geek? Well, I just sort of got drawn to it, the fantasy element. I started with Magic the Gathering, randomly saw this Icon thing, thought it'd be cool, came through. And yeah, moved on to D&D, I do mostly board games these days. I did Necromunda once, so I touched Warhammer, but I feel that that's a commitment I'm not willing to make. So my favourite thing about being a geek is board games. I love them, I'm making them. And yeah, the fact that you guys do this, it's pretty quite cool. I'm planning to watch quite a few of your videos and see how Sheriff of Lockham works. So yeah, that sounds like fun. And yeah, board games, bitches.
Why am I a geek? Because it's fun and interesting, and you get to meet so many people. The people are cool. The people are very cool. Why am I still a geek? That hasn't stopped happening. Why do I come to Icon? Because it's a collection of all of the geeky things that I love. Role-playing, board gaming, my friends are here, and we all just have a really good time together.
Why am I a geek? Why am I a geek? I guess I grew up watching a lot of anime. That's one. Watching a lot of anime. I've always been into animation stuff. So I guess a lot of my geek stuff comes from animation. Computer games, play a lot into it. I grew up playing a lot of computer games. Warcraft, I grew up playing Warcraft. Mortal Kombat, Dota. So yeah, I guess that's why I'm a geek. I just grew up doing everything. What's the next question?
What do you love about being a geek?
The pastime. It kills a lot of time. I feel happy playing it. Let's check. The cosplay is pretty good. Cosplay's a lot of fun. I guess the girls? Yeah, like, can't say no to cosplay girls, right? What else do I like about being a geek? I don't know, it's a lot of, anime is a big part of me, so watching a lot of anime puts a lot of emotion, gives me a lot of, it's like listening to a story, a really well told story, and yeah, these are nice stories.
And why do you come to Icon?
Why do I come to Icon? Well, I guess this year I came because of the World Cosplay Summit. So on Monday I'm competing. We came today because we needed to figure out what's happening on Monday. And yeah, get away Genji, so yeah.
Pokemon was my first geek experience. Since I was 8 years old, I've watched it, I've been obsessed, and yeah, that just got the ball rolling into everything else.
What other geeky things do you do?
LARPing, I love LARPing. Tabletop, I play Age of Sigmar. I love my card games. Not Magic, funny enough, but Keyforge and Cardboard Crack. Yes, and obviously Pokemon cards. What else do I do?
What do you love about
roleplay, of course.
And what do you like about Icon?
I love being in the geek community, getting to see my friends, especially the ones that you get too busy to stay in touch with, and you find them again at Icon, and all the stalls with all the great goodies that you can't afford all of it, and you have to make difficult life decisions about what you're gonna buy. And yeah, it's just all around awesome.
Why are you a geek?
Well, I've been a geek my entire life and I didn't know it until I met the awesome Speakles who's my friends now, and now I'm a full-fledged geek. And we do the LARPings and the Keyforge, and we do the Magics and the tabletops and the Age of Sigmas, and it's all just...
Awesome. And it's your first Icon?
It's my first Icon ever.
Fantastic. How have you found the first Icon?
It's been completely overwhelming because there's so many stuff. I'm enjoying it so much.
Excellent.
Should have gone the other way.
Okay, I love cosplay. I do all my makeup myself, so that's the main reason I come is to come and see everyone's outfits. What was the other question?
Why are you a geek?
Why am I a geek? Because I love cosplay. Because I love nerdy things like game. I like Lego. This is just, it's my absolute favorite place to be. The people are awesome. That's actually the main reason I come to Icon. The people are awesome. It's the people that you meet.
And why do you like being a geek?
I like being a geek because geeks are smart. And I like being smart.
To me, geeks are a breed of animal, but a good breed of animal. So geeks have more brains than agility or strength and things like that. Everything happens up here. We're not worried about what this looks like as long as it's covered. So being a geek is all about up here, not the rest of you. And Icon is home away from home. Actually, Icon is home. I don't even have a home. Usually, most of the year I sleep in a box before Icon starts, and then I come home to Icon, and then they close Icon at the end of the weekend, and then I go back to my shitty box. But no, Icon, it's the experience, what you can see, what you can do, things you can learn as a geek, because like I said, it's all about here. You want more for your head, not for your body. And I forgot the third question.
Why are you a geek?
Why am I a geek?
Why am I a geek? I think I've always just been a geek. My grandfather owned one of the big hobbyist stores in the 60s, Duquoise Toys in Pretoria. So I grew up with Dungeons & Dragons in the 80s already. Lego was probably the biggest thing in my life, and Tintin and Asterix and Star Wars, you know, going to actually watch it in the movie theaters in the early 80s. Yeah, and just it was sort of part of my life. The irony is my parents are really the opposite. They don't like anything that's made up. So I was never allowed to really have comics or anything like that because my mom didn't understand them. But I had friends that had some insane collections at the time. I've held a #1 Superman, I've held a #1 Spider-Man in my hand. Many years ago in the 80s, a friend of mine's dad owned 25 million in comics in the 80s. He was a collector from sort of the 40s and 50s that his grandfather started. So yeah, I think the reasons are steeped in didn't really know anything else, and then got into Magic in the 90s, and I was already playing a bit of D&D, so the habit continues. They got into fantasy fiction reading, and it just, bottlenose more and more and more.
Cool. How long have you been coming to Icon?
From the first. I didn't even know it was Icon the first year I came. Friends of ours invited us. It was in this Jupilani Centre or something like that in Edenvale, not Edenvale, Orange Grove area somewhere there. And got introduced to anime. That's what I do remember from it. So they had these massive rooms where they were just streaming anime, and definitely not safe for work anime on some of them, but it was quite weird. Spent the day there, and I think at the time we were slowly getting into Magic. So yeah, and then came the next year, and the next year, and the next year, and becoming ever since. Only missed a handful maybe. Yeah.
What's the favorite geeky thing?
Magic and D&D probably, and then I think fantasy fiction comes in, just everything around it, which is why the first two are in there. Magic allows me to compete, and D&D allows me to storytell. Been DMing now for a while, so it's just I don't separate it from my life. I mean, my house looks like a geek fest when you walk in. I've got 50, 60 board games. My office has got more Magic cards in than business files. And then my lounge has got more D&D paraphernalia than... I think my TV's switched on more than my D&D stuff has been switched on.
Hello! So there are many reasons why I am a geek personally, from watching anime to watching live action TV shows like Star Trek Discovery, Harry Potter movies and the like. I also just like the crafting aspect of it. I'm really into cosplay, so I love to make costumes and go to conventions and just to show off my work, but also just to interact with different cosplayers and the community at large in itself.
What do you enjoy about being a geek?
Well, as I said previously, what I enjoy about it is the just the interactivity of it. I would say is that you basically get one giant community that is just into all of the same things that you're into. So it's great to just be able to come to a convention and to speak to like-minded people, to chat to them, and to just share your interests with each other.
And why do you come to Icon?
I come to Icon, I've been coming to Icon for years, so I don't even remember when I actually started. So I came to initially support of my friends who are running it, but also because it's just a fun weekend of dressing up, spending all of my money, and just having a good old time with everybody.